Yeah, good. What are you standing out in a snowstorm or something?
Yeah, man. I told you I'm redoing the entire studio, guys. I've been working on
Whoa.
it for months. This wall used to have a lot of pictures on it. It's off. I got things, yeah, guys, completely switching it up. That's why I'm using this different lighting and all that. But hopefully it'll be done by tomorrow. And there we go.
A whole new Brandon.
Got to reset things. Got to switch it up a little, you know.
Yeah. And maybe I'll get the dishes done by that time too.
Well, I mean, I wanted a better area, a better sound, a better, yeah. So we'll see what happens.
So I started playing around with what we're going to talk about today and everything. And I thought, I'm just going to throw some questions at you, just from the outside. For instance, the one I'll start with is, if you had to change your name, what would your new name be?
Oh my God, McLovin.
McLovin? Is that a new
I want to
sandwich?
be. I
Is
want
that a
to be
new
called
sandwich or something?
McLovin. For if you know, you know. Um, I don't know. Maybe I go with Prince and just be a symbol. You know. Um, I don't.
Yeah, I started thinking about it myself, and because a Stuart, when my parents gave me the name Stuart and all, it was not a real common name,
Yeah.
and you kind of see that in cycles.
Sure. Sure.
When they named my grandson Liam, there weren't that many Liams. Now every other kid is named Liam.
Yeah, it goes in waves, like what the popular name is for the year. I think I really don't know. I'd probably pick something, unique to where not many people would know what it is, what the meaning is, where it's from, and not to be unique, but like I get paged sometimes at work over the PA, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Brandon, can you call 402?" And I'm like, which we had at one point at one of my stores, we had five Brandons.
yeah,
Which one, bro? So like I typically just ignore that whenever they page me.
yeah. I serve on a board where there's five berries.
Bro,
You know,
I've only known one Barry and I didn't like him. So, I mean, other than Barry White, I like Barry White and Barry Sanders, but I didn't know those guys.
yeah.
Um, so
Yeah, Lauren likes Barry White too.
yeah,
Oh,
well, hey, man, why not? Barry White's
oh,
good.
oh, baby, baby, baby,
I
baby.
like him, man. Ever since man, I thought the coolest thing he ever did was, I mean, I liked his music and who he was, but when he started doing the voice of Chef from South Park, I was like, okay, this guy's funny, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So,
That's like James Earl Jones.
oh
He
yeah.
he he had one of those identifiable voices, and when he did animated characters, it added a new dimension to the characters.
You know what he did too, not to go off topic, but James Earl Jones made a deal with Disney, um, because obviously his, the voice was going and all that. Um, and he made where he recorded just him speaking so that they could use AI to mimic his voice for Darth Vader, if they ever want. And so, if you notice, on the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, Obi-Wan that came out a couple years ago, they do a mixture. I mean, it's Anakin, and they got the guy who played Anakin Skywalker in the prequels to be Vader. But when he they show Vader, it's James Earl Jones' voice, real voice with AI. You can't tell the difference, but he gave them permission to do it. He said, "Do it because I want to live forever as Vader." And I'm like, this guy's awesome. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, yeah. I still remember him from Field of Dreams, and
Field of Dreams.
yeah,
Let's Mufasa from Lion King, man.
yeah, yeah, cool.
Anyway,
Uh, all right. Other than your cell phone, is there something that you bring with you everywhere you go?
besides like my wallet and all that crap,
Yeah.
I always bring water with me. believe it or not.
Yeah.
Whether that be a jug like this beast or just water. And then I always bring my headphones with me.
Really?
Hmm. Well, it started off a couple reasons, but one, my old car, um, radio didn't work. It had a CD player in it and ate my CD. Um, and I didn't have any way to connect the Bluetooth or anything to play it. So I would put my headphones on and drive. Or when Luke was in the car, I actually had a portable speaker and I'd hook my phone up to the portable speaker to play music. It was really ghetto. But I bring my headphones with me, especially if I'm working, so that if I have to go shopping after work, I can put my headphones on, take my name tag off. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to look at anybody. I don't care if you're waving hi to me. I'm not paying attention to you, you know? So and then sometimes, like maybe, hey, I got an hour to kill. I'm going to go pick up Luke from school. I'm going to swing by Summer Moon, put my headphones on, get a cup of coffee. Yeah, those are probably a couple things. What about you?
Uh, for years and years and years, and this goes back to when we were in business. We used to go to Las Vegas a lot for our buying shows.
Hmm.
And I don't remember the casino now, whether it was Caesar's Palace or whatever, but they have their own tokens.
Yeah.
And I had a token from when I won a little bit of something on a slot machine or something. And I put one of those tokens in my pocket and I carried that token with me every day
Dang.
for, gosh, I would say a dozen years or more until I think I finally lost it.
Ah,
But I put the keys in my pocket and my token, and it was there. It wasn't worth anything because you could only use it, in the casinos.
sure.
But I did that. Now I could not leave the house without a watch on.
That's funny. I think the last time I wore a true watch, not a Fitbit or anything like that,
Yeah.
which I don't use Fitbits anymore. I like Fitbits, I just don't use them anymore. I have an Apple Watch that I never wear. Um, the last time that I wore a watch, I gotta be honest with you, I think I was like 12. I don't like watches. I don't like things on my wrist,
Yeah.
you
See,
know.
and I couldn't. I have gone out of the house with a wristwatch on my wrist, but my wallet is still sitting on the
I believe that.
in the bathroom. I've
So do
I've
the
told
people
that
at
story before where
So do the people at the grocery store. They
yeah,
know that you have your watch.
yeah, check out. Oh, can you just leave my cart full of perishable goods
Yeah.
right here while I run home to get my
Yeah, let me
wallet?
go get it real quick.
You, you know, but I'm old enough that I can use that as an excuse.
I'm starting to do that too.
Yeah. Uh, where's the worst place you've ever been stuck for a long time?
Besides Ohio.
Or in a marriage?
Yeah. It wasn't that long. Um, I would say, oh, and beside, well, I guess it wasn't long. DMV, the airport. Oh, the airport, definitely. I hate the airport.
Yeah, me
Um,
too. And now it's getting worse.
yeah, well, that's why I'm not traveling anywhere.
Yeah,
Jail. Jail wasn't fun. That was only a couple days, but
seemed like it.
honestly, knock on wood, it wasn't that bad. It was expensive, but it wasn't that bad. Um, I mean, we played chess, you know. Yeah, I'll tell this story and I'll let it go, but
Yeah, that'll while the hours away.
um, because I wasn't in prison, guys. There's a difference between prison and jail. Let's
Right.
get that clear. And I wasn't.
Yeah. Prison is usually for an extended period of time. Uh,
Yes. I had
jail is
somebody
because you
in
had
my,
an oops moment.
yeah, or a couple. And I had a prisoner guy. He was in an orange jumpsuit, which meant he was a higher level, but he didn't care. he wasn't trying to hurt anybody. He was just getting transferred. But they packed us in this cell, man. They packed us in there like there had to be like 25 people in this thing, man. And you're just chilling and you're trying not to make eye contact with people. You're trying not to act scared. You're trying not to act too tough. You just want to be like, but luckily, God willing, God bless, that I had people that were in my cell that just wanted to chill and not get in. Like they're either getting ready to get out or, but anywho, you couldn't do much. You talk or hang out. They'd feed you crap. And then, they gave us, you got these things called, they called them kites, and they were pieces of paper that you would write request and send it up to the next floor. So it was like a kite, right? You send it up to the next floor to get like stamps or money or whatever that you had in your thing. So we just kept on asking, each one of us asked for kites, and they have to give it to you. You don't know when. And we take the paper and we'd rip it and make chess pieces. And they gave us a little tiny pencil and they would watch you and we'd write like P for pawn and
Yeah.
and we just played chess for like 2 hours. We'd have to rotate. So sometimes I'd be sitting there for an hour, hour and a half waiting for my turn, and then you'd win. You could get it was cool, man. I mean, not cool, but yeah, that felt like forever. I can't imagine what some of these prisoners go through. I could see why they end up going crazy and killing people, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Either that or they come out with a PhD.
True, true. I just dive into the books. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. There's been some other places. I was trapped on the side of the road, um, God, in the middle of nowhere between Ohio and Pennsylvania before. And that there ain't nobody that was driving. That was horrible. But yeah, those are my places. What about you?
Uh, well, I guess I would have to say Vietnam.
I was gonna say, if you don't say Vietnam,
Yeah.
then
I mean,
I'm
because it was not a place that you were there by choice, and you couldn't
no.
just say, you know what, I've had enough of this, I'm going home. You were there for a prescribed amount of time, and you did your best to make sure you just did your time there and got on
And
that
get
plane to
out.
come home.
Yep, yep.
Not only that, but considering that the it might drop down to 95 at night,
Ah.
and it was 110 to 120 during the day.
Humid, right? Humid too. Nothing but humidity.
Yeah, and you had to be buttoned up to the wrist and buttoned up to the neck. So it was reflecting back upon it. It was, I don't know who it was that said it was the best of times and it was the worst of times,
Yes.
because there were some positive things that came out of it, but that probably was the longest period of time that I had to spend in a bad place.
And that's why I sit here and I say people like me have it easy, man. Like I've gone through some hard times, no doubt. I've gone through some self-inflicted hard times too. And I've gone through some crap that I'm like, dang, that's rough. But when talking to you, like, eh, really, I'm just gonna shut up and sit down and play my chess with my paper.
With your little pieces of paper in your
Yeah,
in
like
your
that
jail
for
cell.
real. I'm not, yeah. So, and that's what I kind of feel like telling most people, like just sit down and shut up because you don't know what other people have gone to. It's not taking anything away from everybody else, but like, Jesus. Anyway.
Is there something that's popular now that really annoys you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of the lingo, well, and some of it's already expired. But like 6 7 6 7,
Uh,
I can't deal with that anymore. Well, that was so 2025 anyway. um but a lot of the lingo that like kids are saying now, that they're like, oh, you know what that means, right? I'm like, what? And they change the words. um that's annoying, man. A lot of the outfits are annoying too, man. When I see dudes wearing these short shorts, like way above the kneecaps, and I'm like, bruh, you know,
yeah.
that's annoying. Mullets are annoying.
Uh,
The mullets are back and they're annoying. You used to just be able to find them in trailer parks. Now you're finding them everywhere. you know. So
I'm still having trouble with multicolored hair.
that doesn't bother me.
I know it's a trend, it's very popular and all, but it just
It doesn't always look good on people though.
right, yeah.
You gotta be the right person.
Yeah. And I guess it's a lot of it is influenced by the music scene because when you know your favorite singers on stage are doing it, then people want to emulate that.
100%.
But I always see when I see some of these kids with the odd colored hairdos and I think who gave you permission to do that? Your mother or your father? You know,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. There's a lot of things popular that
I
annoy me.
still have trouble with all the abbreviations that people send in emails and in texts. You know, it all started with the LOL and stuff like that. But now, I mean, half of the texts and stuff that I see has got all these abbreviations,
Well, I
and
mean,
I can't figure out what they are, and I have to ask Siri or Alexa what they
I
are.
send a lot of them. I'll be honest, I send a lot, but also like if you're doing a text message, you know, the text was originated for a short-term communication, not a graphic novel. I'm notorious for both,
Yeah, yeah.
but so I'm like, if I'm going to cut the words down, let me abbreviate, you know?
I Lauren likes to text a lot too, and I say, why don't you just call that person and have a conversation with them instead of texting? You know, well,
Yes.
no, it's just as easy to text. No, it isn't as easy to text. And plus, I like kind of like listening to somebody's voice. I could say sending a text, say, "Are you available for a short call?"
Sure, sure.
That
Yeah,
and
I'll
that's
call.
what like you say, that's what texting was for, was to take a
Yeah.
shortcut.
I have a notorious amount of text message. I used to get like people would always be like, "Why do you delete your text messages?" I'm like, number one, it does take up storage, okay? Number two, do you want to scroll through the feed of every text? Well, what if there's something important in there? I don't know. Like, write it down. Like, what's important? Like, unless you have proof, and I got to show this to the feds, you know, then what's important? If it's a phone number or a date, put it in your calendar, put it in your contact list. But like, I scrolled through my text the other night, and I'm like, Jesus, I got a text from 2 years ago from somebody. Why am I saving this? I haven't talked to him in 2 years.
That's it. Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah. And you want to know why your phone's running so slow?
Bro, my phone is running so slow right now. I
I
got
I
so much
finally
cleanup I gotta do.
yeah, I finally found out how to delete old messages. I mean, you know, you delete them, but they're like archived. And then I found there was a button and it shows you have 187 deleted messages.
Yes.
Clean them out, you
Clean
know.
them out.
But hey, um, let's see. Oh, this is kind of an interesting one. Who is your oldest friend and where did you meet him?
My like oldest, like the length of time or old, like
Well,
age.
I'm probably your oldest friend.
You're the oldest friend. I mean, like on an age level. Yeah, you then Paul. Oh, there goes my light, guys. Welcome to Brandon's studio shit show. I don't care. The studio's under construction. Yeah, you would be on an age, and then Paul would be on an age, and after that, I'd have to look. But is that
I actually have a friend from back in
uh,
actually we first met in middle school and all and we have remained friends for forever. Not you know on a regular basis, but you know a few times a year and you know we call each other. But you know some of those childhood friends, you realize that there are a few that you could call them up and within 20 minutes
oh yeah,
get caught up on 20 or 30 years.
no doubt. I talked to this. There's a couple of them that I
Yeah,
went to school with back in Michigan that we still communicate. And I'm not talking Facebook communicate, you know,
right,
or
right.
TikTok or social media. I'm talking like communicate. Um, that I've been friends with. I got one of my friends, Ken, ride or die, who I became friends with him in sixth grade, you know, and we still talk. Matter of fact, he's coming down this summer to hang out. I was friends with his family though. Like his family was my second family. Like they were part of like I can't like sometimes I would just stop by their house just to shoot the breeze if Ken wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, hey, you guys are awesome. I got a couple people like that for sure and then there's others like you said, maybe you don't talk to them, but I bet you if you called them, you'd be good.
Yeah. Did you have animals as a kid? Did you have pets?
I didn't have a lot of pets. My parents kind of sucked on that level. I had a guinea pig, and then I had fish, and that was about it. They didn't like dogs. They liked them but didn't want them. No cats. Like it was just they're really kind of lame about it, which is ironic now because my sister's got a dog, this little tiny lap doggy, whatever, that when she comes there to visit, they got no problem with her bringing the dog. Meanwhile, me growing up, I'm like, I don't get a dog. I got a freaking guinea pig
And fish?
and fish. You had a dog, right?
I think I have had a dog in my family ever since I was a toddler
Jeez, yeah.
and all. I mean, there might be a span. We went from when we lost our dog in Florida. We went 15 years before we got our next
Well,
dog.
I remember. Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I
But
remember the most recent,
yeah,
but
but my mom always liked to have a dog in the house,
why
and also
not?
I grew up with them, and it was only dogs. We never had a cat. Yeah, we played around with the fish. We had a parakeet for a while, and things like my grandson now in his house. They just lost one of their dogs, but still have two dogs. They got tanks full of fish.
Nice.
They have a parakeet or a parrot. It might be, I don't know. It's probably a parrot or something that my daughter-in-law walks around the house with it on her shoulder all the time. Ricky.
Ricky. I like. So, I mean, I like pets. I had a dog. It still makes me mad when I got older, though, much older.
Yeah,
On my own, it still makes me mad to this day that I don't have him. But I know he's in a really good home. Just a really horrible situation. But yeah, and honestly, he's probably helping this lady out quite a bit. She had a dog that was aging, but when my dog and her dog connected, that dog became like just young, and
new
then
life.
her older dog passed away, and so now she's got. So I'm blessed. I hate it, and the way that I had to get rid of him, I hate it. But we won't go there. Um, but I've had my cat, Rusco for 13 and a half years, almost 14 years now. He's getting
Wow.
old. Yeah, he's a senior cat. He's looking at me right now. And he does piss me off sometimes. But the biggest thing about him that makes me annoyed, and this is how big of a jerk I am sometimes, all he wants to do is hang out. Like, but sometimes you just don't want somebody touching you, you know what I mean? But like, that's all that he lives for is for me to be like,
You've been gone all day, so
oh,
you come home, glad to have you here, Dad. Oh, you
yeah.
want me to go over there and sit and do nothing?
I know. And I'm like, stop being mad. And he's Luke's like, ever since Luke was a baby, I was a little worried because you don't know how cats are going to react.
Right.
Because they don't really they like who they like. And if they don't like you, they just,
Yeah.
give you the finger
Yeah.
and leave. Um, and he was obsessed with Luke. He would sleep outside of his door. He would sleep by. So even now, like when Luke's sick, that cat's right by his side sleeping. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. I love this cat. It's going to suck when the time comes. I'm not going to be prepared. I mean, that cat has been through a divorce, a new baby. I've traveled with, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
and we got the
Well,
beta fish too. Beta fish is cool, man. He's cool. So,
he doesn't talk back.
No, but you know what? He does like, I walk in the room and he's like, "Phew." And
Yeah,
I'm like, hey
sure,
man,
sure.
and then I put my finger on the glass like and trace and he'll do this. He's cool, man. He's chill, man.
And he doesn't talk back.
Nah, he's doing this thing where they call it bubbling. And under the plant, he'll do all these bubbles.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be two things. One, he's ready to mate. He's out of luck. And then two, it's when they're happy. So he's
Like
got this whole
when a
thing
dog
of,
wags its tail.
yeah, he's just blowing bubbles like do, 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 do. Anyway.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you, Mr. Cousteau.
I'm an expert in beta fish.
Pets are a good thing. The hardest thing is when you lose one, it's deciding do I want
Uh,
to just let it go for a while or do I want to replace a pet right away? Because
we had,
my son and
yeah,
daughter-in-law have lost, like three or four dogs, but
Jesus,
they always, when one is aging, they bring a puppy in, like you said, and that
interesting.
sign usually helps that senior dog until they do pass away. But then, you carry on.
I don't think that I would do that with my cat right now. I don't think he'd be into it. He'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Um,
just
but I think that it's going to be a situation where I'm going to have to, like, when the time comes, what are we doing? Am I going to get another one? Like, Luke's going to have a hard time. This is Luke's second beta fish. And the first one, I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened, but, um, and it sucked. And Luke had a hard time with that. Um, we buried it and everything. And then, Luke, I asked him, do you want to get one? I'm not going to just say, oh, forget your fish. Who cares? Let's buy another one. If you
right.
don't want one, if you're not ready, it's cool. And he's like, no, let's get another one. We got to rescue them. So his thing was we're rescuing them from the pet store. So anyway, we'll see what happens. My cat's probably got a lot of life left in him. So
Well, well, I hope you all got a lot of life left in you after
most of
our,
you
our discussion. And if you want to share interesting stories about any of your pets, feel free to reach out to us. All
yeah,
right. Well, go out and make it a great day and then come back and see us again next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll find something interesting. All right. Bye.
later.